going to be LaShonda Roberts, who's not present, but represented by her attorney, Brandon Leonard. And so Ms. Roberts is charged with 2 cases of first-degree felony offense of engaging in organized criminal activity, where probable cause has been found on these 2 felony cases. Both of these felony cases are assigned to the 263rd District Court, which is where she will be going on both of these cases. Mr. Raming, what is your position in regard to bond on these 2 cases? Would you like to make one?
I'm going to make the same argument for both cases.
You may proceed.
We're going to ask for $100,000 bonds in both of these cases, opposed to pretrial release under 1703 for both. The allegation being that Ms. Roberts was involved in a scheme whereby she was responsible for recruiting people that were going to be taking their teaching certificate exams to pay her a sum of money to get access to a scheme whereby these people were essentially having proxies take their certification exams on their behalf. And so we're going to ask for no contact with any of her alleged co-defendants, those being Vincent Grayson, Tawana Gifford, Darian Wellhite, Nicholas Newton, and Darian Wellhite, sorry, mentioned, along with any teacher that was involved in this alleged scheme. No weapons, alcohol, or drugs, travel restriction to Harrison contiguous counties, and an electronic monitor, and nothing further.
Now, did you characterize those individuals as co-defendants, Mr. Raming?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Attorney Brandon Leonard, you are here representing LaShonda Roberts, who I understand from you has waived her appearance. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
And so I've heard the argument of Mr. Raming in regard to bond amount. And what is your position, sir?
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, I'm going to ask that the court set a reasonable, a low bond in this case, and based on a number of factors. First of all, this is not an offense that involves any violence. Ms. Roberts herself is not alleged to have used any violence. She doesn't have any violent history, doesn't have any criminal history. She's an educator. She has a master's degree. So there's no indication that Ms. Roberts is a danger to herself or to the community as well. I would also proffer to the court her ties to this community. Ms. Roberts has been a member of this community for over 15 years now. She's a homeowner. Before this offense, she, again, was an educator. And Judge, I would object to the GPS monitoring as unnecessary. And as to flight risk, Judge, I'd like to call to the court's attention, myself and Ms. Roberts, we have been in contact with the DA's office regarding this case, whom we reached out to back as early as May. And we've been in constant communication with the DA's office. In fact, I have an email from less than 11 days ago where I reached out to the DA's office, asked them about the status of the case. They assured me that they would let me know the status of the case, let me know when my client was charged so that we could facilitate her surrender. I have that in an email, in multiple emails, and the state of Texas, for whatever reason, chose to ignore their promise to me and arrested my client this morning, despite the fact that we've made every attempt to be cooperative and facilitate her surrender. So, Judge, with that in mind, my client is no longer employed, so her financial ability is going to be severely restricted. So given the fact that she's not a danger to the community, she's not a flight risk, we've tried to comply and let the DA's office know where we are regarding these charges, I would ask for no more than a $1,000 bond in these cases, in both of these cases, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Leonard, I have listened to the argument of the prosecutor as well as yourself in regard to these charges, and I have reviewed the information on file. And taking that in consideration along with your argument, I am going to set the bond at $100,000 on each one of these cases. The conditions of bond will be as follows. That Ms. Roberts appear in court each time that she is ordered to do so and commit no new offenses. That Ms. Roberts remain in Harris County and its contiguous areas. Also, a further condition of the bond, the total $200,000 bond will be that the defendant not have any contact with the identified co-defendants, Vincent Grayson, Tawana Guilford Mason, Nicholas Newton, Darian Nicole Wilhite, and LaShonda, and let's see. And those are all of the identified co-defendants that I showed Mr. Rammond. Did you have any others named?
No other names.
Okay. And so that will be a condition also of this total $200,000 bond. I'm not going to order electronic monitoring. I believe that your argument against that, Mr. Leonard, has been persuasive, so that will not be a condition of bond. And that will be it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge, can we switch?
Oh, yes, sir.